According to creditcards.com, the average American spends $5,400 a year on impulse buys. And no wonder our credit cards are maxed out. It's never a bad time to put a couple of bucks back into your pocket. And decluttering can help you do just that. Growing up, we didn't have much. It was essentials only. No one was going hungry, but there were no new backpacks to start the school year or trending sneakers that everyone was wearing. We shopped at Payless. Not sure if that store even still exists. And ate yogurt every day because back then it was dirt cheap. And to this day, I still can't stomach the taste of it. So when I got my first job, I was like a caged animal finally set loose in the wilderness. I literally would just buy. I became an impulse shopper, addicted to the adrenaline of swiping my credit card, bringing the item home, admiring it for a few, and then essentially forgetting that it ever existed. At one point, I owned so much clothing that if you offered me $1 million to tell you exactly what was in my closet, I couldn't. Many of the items still had tags on them, shoes were never to be worn because, well, quite frankly, they killed my feet, and I bought decor to literally cover every inch of my walls. I accrued a ton of debt, and the rush of buying items no longer appealed to me. It no longer made me feel good. Instead, it was replaced with the dread of monthly Amex payments. All that changed when I decided to purge my home. Something very interesting happens when you commit to decluttering your home. Hearing this, you're probably like,
yeah, right, Margo.
There's no way I'm going to stop buying that new wardrobe every season. I've seen this happen again and again and again, both from my own experience and my clients. Decluttering changes you. It changes your buying habits, and in the long run, it saves you thousands of dollars on items you don't need. I used to spend close to $300 every single season on clothing. That's about $1,200 a year. Since I committed to a clutter-free home, and more specifically became a minimalist in my wardrobe, there have been years where at most I spent $200 for the entire year. According to creditcards.com, the average American spends $5,400 a year on impulse buys. Imagine how much money you'll spend curbing your shopping. While I was decluttering, many things went through my mind. Why do I have so many kitchen gadgets? When did I accrue so many bottles of lotions? Why won't my dresser drawers close? To some extent, decluttering will have you come face to face with all the little mistake buys you've made over the past 20 years. And those little mistakes add up. This is why we often experience buyer's remorse and guilt over our purchases, and those feelings might actually make us want to stop decluttering. I urge you to work through this and keep going. Many of us struggle with impulse buys. They elevate our mood, help us to de-stress, makes our homes and ourselves feel good. The issue is that most of these items eventually turn into clutter. The rush we get from buying something at HomeGoods is short-lived. And while shopping is one of those habits that is tough to break quickly, as you declutter your home, you will gain an appreciation for its cleanliness. You will value the amount of hours you put in to purging, dropping it off to donation, or even hiring a dump truck to pick up all your stuff. You'll naturally not want to find yourself in the same situation ever again. For me, the amount I was able to save over a series of years is in the thousands. Money saved on clothing, money saved on appliances, money saved on random impulse buys. I stopped buying mugs. Why I needed 18 mugs was quite nutty. The artwork, the constant need to purchase the new and shiny. And after spending so much time investing in my home and decluttering and purging and cleaning and organizing, I now have developed the opposite problem where I have to convince myself to purchase a new item. You start choosing to live with less, not necessarily minimalism because, well, I'm not a minimalist, but rather you start asking yourself, would I be okay without this item? Can I find something else instead of this item to use? Do I really need it? And most often, the answer is no. This feeling, this transformation is something to be experienced. If you feel like this isn't something you can wrap your head around just yet, give decluttering a try and let me know what happens. The change in your shopping habits is inevitable. If you're getting value from my video, contribute to my coffee addiction by smashing that like button. Something very common that happens when we have too much clutter is that we end up buying multiples of the same thing. And a major reason for this is because we can't find what we're looking for, so we naturally assume that we don't have it. Or maybe we don't even want to invest the amount of time that it'll take in order to find this particular item. What's the point? Might as well go out and buy it again. How many times did you purchase a beauty or hair product, maybe a pantry item, or even a pair of jeans, only to discover that you have multiples of it already? And by then, it was probably too late to return it. Decluttering will help you save a ton of money because you will have a clear inventory of just how much of what you own. When you declutter, it becomes easier to find things and know exactly when and what you're running out of. Another way we end up saving a ton of money when we declutter is we naturally don't need as many pretty containers and bins and, shelf dividers. Having too much stuff, you have probably found yourself buying containers, bins, shelves, and storage units to organize your clutter, which you probably know by now is a big no-no. Organizing clutter is a waste of time and is not sustainable. It essentially looks nice for a day, and the minute you pull an item out, it's back to looking like a hot mess. Decluttering saves you a ton of money because you naturally have less, and therefore you don't need to spend a ton on pretty home organization items. You might walk the aisles of home goods and admire the mesh bins without actually needing to purchase them, saving you hundreds of dollars a year. On a much bigger scale, and this is something I've seen happen again and again and again with my clients, you will save a ton of money on storage units. If you pay for a storage space offsite, you know that the monthly fees can quickly add up. A 5x5 storage unit in New York costs anywhere from $50 and up. That's $600 a year. How would it feel to not have to need that storage space anymore? If you own less, the storage unit becomes obsolete. Now, I understand that at times we have them because we temporarily downsized our homes, or maybe a loved one passed and we haven't had a chance to go through their things yet. For most of us, we should fit comfortably in the space we live in without the extensions. Think about the last time you actually needed something out of storage. Do you even know what's in there? We are reluctant to get rid of our things without really taking into consideration the damage holding on to clutter is doing to us, not only financially, but psychologically and physically as well. I urge you to declutter your storage unit in addition to decluttering your home, and try to fit what you need in your existing living space. Decluttering can also save you a ton of money on mental health and healthcare costs. It can help you avoid late fees because you know exactly where your bills are and when they should be paid. It can also save you a ton on moving costs because you only move what you need. Also, don't forget that you can actually make a ton of money selling your clutter. Want to achieve a clutter-free home this year? Hire me as your decluttering coach for help. Check out more information in the description. If you're ready, committed, and fired up to declutter your home and start saving money, watch this video next for how to begin. As always, thank you so much for watching. Good luck on your decluttering journey, and remember to be good to yourself.